Earlier this week, Jill Duggar posted some swimsuit photos that took her followers by surprise. It wasn't that Jill's swimwear was unexpectedly revealing, quite the opposite, in fact. Jill was rocking the usual modest Duggar-approved swimwear, despite the fact that she was rumored to be leading a rebellion against Jim Bob and his asinine rules. Some fans were disappointed to learn that Jill had decided to stick with the infamous Duggar dress code, but it's important to bear in mind that not every revolution is completed overnight. Sometimes, dictators can only be overthrown through patience, persistence, and teamwork. That's where Jill's sisters come in. Jinger Duggar was arguably the first to rebel against her father, first by wearing pants in defiance of the dress code, and then by moving to Los Angeles with her husband, Jeremy Vuolo, whom Jim Bob, of course, does not approve of. After she relocated, Jinger was disowned by her parents, and she was welcomed back to the family by perhaps the only person who could have changed Jim Bob and Michelle's minds. We're talking, of course, about Jana Duggar. Jana was the first to visit Jinger in LA, and the rest of her family followed suit shortly thereafter, in what was commonly regarded as a gesture of forgiveness and reconciliation. On a recent episode of Counting On, Jana paid Jinger another visit in the City of Angels, and once again she seemed drawn to her sister's way of living. This is an interesting development, as Ginger's modern lifestyle has been a source of controversy both within her family and among the Duggars' more conservative fans. During the episode, Jana and Jinger went shopping on Rodeo Drive. What better place to shop than Beverly Hills? Jinger asked, seemingly to Jana's chagrin. That may sound like an innocent enough excursion. It's certainly not as scandalous as Jill's recent outing to a wine and cigar bar. But to Jim Bob, thrift is almost as important as modesty. So the idea of his daughters perusing high-end Beverly Hills boutiques on camera was likely deeply upsetting to the patriarch. As Jinger purchased a $300 blazer, the action shifted back to Arkansas, where Jim Bob was asked if he had ever purchased such an expensive article of clothing. He answered in the negative, of course. But we're sure Jim Bob found Ginger's profligate spending less irksome than Jana's perusal of low-cut blouses. In the end, she opted not to buy anything that would upset Jim Bob, either because of its cost or its lack of modesty. In all likelihood, JB and his supporters consider that a victory. But no doubt they're concerned by Jana's continued interest in her sister's West Coast lifestyle. After all, none of Jim Bob and Michelle's offspring has shown as much loyalty as Jana. Obviously, she hasn't followed in her parents' footsteps with regard to marrying young and popping out a whole bunch of kids. But Jana has remained at home to help raise her younger siblings, and she appears to have remained devoted to their belief system. However, insiders say Jana underwent a change when her best friend, Laura DeMasi, moved to Georgia. Some say DeMasi was sent away by Jim Bob, who feared that Jana was in love with her. We have no way of confirming that, but it does seem that Jana is both lonelier and less loyal to her parents since Laura's departure. Will these feelings lead her to follow her sister to Southern California? Only time will tell, but it's an idea that's rife with spin-off potential.